Hey, so, I don't know, I've been wanting to make this video for a while, but I wasn't even sure where to begin, and I was afraid that it would turn into just a big old rant, and I wasn't even sure if it would be safe to make, because it's still technically ongoing, even though we are at the very tail end of what was going on. So, for those of you who don't know, within 36 hours before Rory was even 36 hours old yet, a social worker from the birthing center reported us to CPS for being potentially dangerous for my daughter. Specifically, me being potentially dangerous. We had a caseworker from Child's Division come out within an hour of getting reported, so immediately, to interview us, and that was a whole hullabaloo within itself because she was actively not listening to us. She wrote down incorrect information, and but one of the things she wrote down that actively wasn't true was she wrote down in the reports that I am unmedicated, and I have not only been on medication since before pregnancy, but I was on medication throughout the entire pregnancy, and I'm on medication now, postpartum. So she wrote down that I'm not medicated. And despite us correcting her several times, it is still on our record. It's still on that interview paperwork that I am unmedicated. And that's why I'm potentially dangerous, because of a diagnosis of DID, dissociative identity disorder. You know, she tried kind of half-assed to say, oh, it's because of both of you and you're both health issues. But it was very clear in her actions that it was specifically me. It's been very clear these past 2 months that I am the concern. And very rarely would they ask Alex for an update on his health and how he's doing, which just kind of has driven it home that, yeah, it's because of me, because of my mental health issues, specifically because I have DID. I am a potential danger to my daughter. So, after the interview, she told us that we are not allowed to go home with our daughter until she walks around our home to make sure that we weren't lying about the baby items that we say we have, because she needed to double check that we actually have baby clothes and a crib and diapers. She also had to check our heat and our running water and our AC and make sure that the home was actually safe for our daughter and actually prepared for our daughter. And then we had to have someone move in with us until we could get started with IIS, which is Intensive Intervention Services. The thing they did not tell us, which, you know, finding someone to live with us for a few weeks is hard enough. Finding someone to live with us for a few weeks during a global pandemic, with me being immune compromised and our less than 2-day-old daughter, is hard enough. But the thing they didn't tell us that they just kind of decided to say when the person, my brother-in-law, who thankfully was able to come stay with us for 2 weeks, when he tried to call and just confirm that he could go home and take a shower and get paired clothes, get a new set of clothes, he was told no, he's not allowed to leave the house. This was almost the entire 2 weeks in that he was told he is never allowed to leave the house. If he had had a job, he would have been screwed. We would have been screwed because no one told us that. No one told us that he wasn't ever allowed to leave the house. So, yeah. So the first 2 weeks with our daughter was robbed because we have someone live with us. And not only did we have to have someone live with us, but he was sent in an email my entire mental health medical background without my permission. I never once was even asked if it was okay that my brother-in-law was sent not only all of my diagnoses, but my history with self-harm and my history with suicidal attempts. Which, yeah, when I say history, I really do mean history. Long ago, in the past, I have not self-harmed in years, and I have not attempted suicide in 3 years, maybe 4. Yeah, so with the strict instructions that if I do anything potentially harmful that he witnesses, that he's to call 911 immediately on me. So he moved in with us for 2 weeks, which, yeah, that was a thing. And then we got started with the intense intervention services. And this was some guy, some stranger, again, middle of the pandemic, when we're supposed to be social distancing from anyone who doesn't live in our house, came over to our house 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, for 2 hours a day. When he started services with us, he straight told us, there is absolutely no reason for me to be doing this. You guys are perfectly fine. You are safe parents. You have been going above and beyond. So we basically bullshit stuff for 2 weeks. Came up with just some random bullshit for us to talk about. Because there was no reason for him to be there 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. On top of that, at the current time, we were the only family that he was seeing in person because his other family had been exposed to COVID. Again, I'm immune compromised. I get sick very easily. In fact, I wear a mask outside of the COVID pandemic. I wear a VOG mask, a filtered mask, whenever I leave the house. Period. My daughter, 2 weeks old at the time that started. And because I couldn't get the flu shot because I'm allergic to the flu shot, she didn't have that immunity built up. So we had to do 4 to 6 weeks of the IAS. At 3 weeks, he said, yeah, I am absolutely ending this at 4 weeks because you guys are Again, going above and beyond. You're doing a fantastic job. There's no reason for me to be doing this. We never got told anything outside of that, so we thought we would be done at 4 weeks. Come to find out, a few days prior, that Child Division was transferring our case to the Family Division, and the Family Division was going to have someone come out and visit us once a week for 6 weeks. Which, just a small little remark on the bullshit of how Family Division treats their employees. But she was told until half an hour until the interview that she was going to be on her case. So, yeah, we are currently dealing with about to do week 3, technically 4, but she missed a week on her end, so it might be 3. Of someone coming out and visiting us once a week. Again, because I have DID, and that makes me potentially dangerous to my daughter, apparently. Yeah, it's been a fun last 2 months. My daughter is 2 months old exactly today. It is January 2nd. So yeah, 2 months old exactly today. And we still have 2 to 3 weeks, most likely 3. I guarantee that the week that she messed up and she didn't get in contact with us despite us emailing her several times to remind her, and her saying, oh, I completely forgot, I didn't even remember that I have to do that with you guys. That's gonna not count as one of the weeks. So yeah, we have several more weeks of this because I have DID. Really no other reason. There is no reason that we should have been reported. No reason that we are doing this. Not only did the guy who came for IIS say, there's no reason for me to be here, I don't understand, but the woman from Family Division who's seeing us once a week said, there's no reason for me to be here, I don't understand. But also, anyone that we have contacted who has worked either in Family Division or alongside Family Division has said they put you on the most intense program they could have for no valid reason. Her visiting our home before she would release our daughter into our custody from the hospital. There was no reason for that. They had no evidence. They had nothing to support them going into our home and making sure that we weren't lying about having a crib and baby clothes and diapers. There was no reason for any of this. The only reason I can possibly think of is, someone bought into the whole horror movie trope of it was DID the entire time for serial killers, rapists, kidnappers, literal demons. Which just, fuels my rage for not only the movie trope, but then the people who want to sit there and tell me it's just a movie. Get over it. People understand it's not real. Because obviously, if people understood that this horror movie trope of what a twist, it was someone with a DID the entire time, then we wouldn't be dealing with things like this. We wouldn't be dealing with people asking if we're safe to move into their home because they don't want, you know, themselves or someone else in the family to get hurt, physically hurt, because we're unsafe. We wouldn't be questioned if we can be good parents or not. We wouldn't be told by people on the internet that we are dangerous to ever be around children. And I wouldn't be dealing with CPS for the sole reason that I have DID. And yeah, they have on my paperwork, I am high risk of getting postpartum psychosis. But, we're 2 months out. I don't have postpartum. I don't have depression. I don't have a postpartum depression. I don't have postpartum anxiety. I don't have postpartum psychosis. I'm not dealing with anything postpartum. If anything, I have been feeling so much better once giving birth because the pregnancy was kind of fucking awful for my mental health. And that was something that I never, like, most of that was anxiety about, can I make a good parent? Which just makes it even better that my daughter wasn't even 2 days old yet, and I was told, no, you can't make a good parent. We are determining, before you even get a chance, that you will be a bad parent. So yeah, it's been great. Yeah. So I guess I want to end this video with just saying that, yeah. The movie trope, calling people with DID dangerous, is a dangerous concept. It is causing harm. It is causing a lot of harm to those of us with DID, which, you know, considering the fact that to get DID you have to go through extensive trauma at a very young age, don't you think we've already been through enough? Like, don't you think that at some point, with all of this hoopla going on in the horror movies, someone would sit back and go, you know what? To get DID, they went through something that no child should go through. Maybe, just maybe, we shouldn't also put them through fucking hell in their later years, trying to defend themselves, saying that they're not, you know, rapists, murderers, serial killers, kidnappers, etc. Just because we want to make a few extra bucks. Because it's such a twist.